So UFC 300 is finally over, and we got Alex Pereira knocking out Jamal Hill in the main event, and it seems like he wants to fight in Brazil at UFC 301 to save that abysmal card, because that card is awful. Steve Erceg versus Pantoja is not a good and worthy main event in my honest opinion, and I think a lot of people believe that to be so. So Alex Pereira needs an opponent, obviously. And he says that he wants to go to heavyweight. He doesn't want to cut the weight again because, listen, cutting weight again for back-to-back pay-per-views is rough. I think that Alex Pereira can do a fight at heavyweight. It's not going to be against Magomed Ankalaev because Magomed Ankalaev wants to get the title. I don't think he's going to fight Alex Pereira at heavyweight. He's going to wait for Pereira maybe later down the line this year to fight at 205. If Alex Pereira wants to fight at heavyweight, I got one person in mind, and that is Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane doesn't have anything booked right now, and this man needs to fight somebody who is not a fat heavyweight. Let's just be honest. It's time for Cyril Gane to take this fight. There is, to me, nobody else in the heavyweight division, obviously other than Tom Aspinall, but I doubt that Tom Aspinall is just going to go ahead and fight Alex Pereira. If that's the case, I will book that fight 100%. Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira for the heavyweight championship. Book it, do it, fuck it. Listen, that will be an amazing main event. An historic main event, especially in Brazil for Alex Pereira. But I doubt that happens. If that happens, that's crazy. But Cyril Gane needs to erase this narrative that he only beats fat heavyweights, which I understand he didn't just beat only fat heavyweights. He beat Alexander Volkov years ago, I believe back in, 2021, 2022 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But there's this narrative that he ducks everybody. And he can erase this narrative if he faces, on short notice, Alex Pereira, which I believe is a pretty favorable matchup for Cyril Gane, in my honest opinion, because he's more of a natural heavyweight than Pereira. I'm not saying that that Alex Pereira can't be a natural heavyweight. Like Alex Pereira, walking around is like close to 240 pounds. But Cyril Gane is probably walking around like 240 some odd pounds. 240, 250. This is a great matchup. This is a very great stylistic matchup, in my honest opinion. Two of the best strikers in each of the respective divisions. Even though Tom Aspinall is a fantastic striker, I think like the technical striking of Cyril Gane is greater. I think he's just better in the technical aspect of striking. He is better. And I think it makes a lot of sense. To me, it makes a lot of sense. Because Alex Pereira is not going to go... He's not going to cut the weight to go back to light heavyweight. Unless he does, then he's a trooper, and then he should fight Magomed Ankalaev. But if he doesn't want to cut that weight again, you do this fight. You do Cyril Gane versus Alex Pereira. I think that Tom Aspinall next is going to fight Curtis Blades. He's going to try and get his revenge against Curtis Blades. That fight, to me, makes somewhat sense. I think it does. And I think if Tom Aspinall fights right now, there's a possibility that he could miss that UK pay-per-view. And that means that Pereira will have to wait to get his chance at UFC. Which pay-per-view would that be? 303, if I'm not mistaken? Or 304? I don't even know which fucking pay-per-view. I think it will be 304. Because I think the headliner will be Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler. That fight has been announced, and I'll talk about that in another video. I think that Cyril Gane should step in and take this fight. And prove all the doubters that call him a ducker who ducks everybody, which he does. Let's be honest, he does. And I think that he should erase that narrative. And if he wins, there's a lot to gain for Cyril Gane. Obviously, is there a lot to lose? Absolutely, there is. He might lose his opportunity to face, possibly Tom Aspinall in the future, or whoever it will be the champion, later on down the line. Because, listen, he has not earned his opportunity yet, in my honest opinion. Beating Sergey Spivak last year is not worthy of a title shot again. Like, bro, you have to beat top-level competition in the heavyweight division. Or you face the best heavyweight on the planet, or the best light heavyweight on the planet, arguably, in Alex Pereira, and you beat him. That, to me, if Cyril Gane is able to beat a guy like Alex Pereira, I would definitely say that he's next for the title after, you know, Curtis Blades or whoever gets the next title shot, which I believe will be Curtis Blades. I think that makes a lot of sense in the division for Cyril Gane. I think Cyril Gane needs to take this fight because I think it's a favorable matchup because he will have the, you know, the advantages in many aspects in the weight. I believe he's a little taller than Alex Pereira. I think that, you know, obviously, I think maybe he could hit harder. But listen, Alex Pereira does hit like a fucking truck. Maybe I could be wrong about that, but he could possibly take some shots from Alex Pereira. I think he could, especially when you compare him to Jamal Hill. I think he'll be able to eat some of the shots in comparison to Jamal Hill because he's just a lot bigger, more natural at heavyweight, and he'll be able to eat maybe a left hook. And I think he could win that fight. I think that he'll be able to use his size and strength to be able to win that fight. I'm not saying that I'll pick Cyril Gane to win, because I could definitely see a world where Alex Pereira actually beats Cyril Gane. But it makes a lot of sense, and it saves UFC 301, because that card is awful. That could be, I mean, I understand if there's nothing on the line, I guess you will have that as the co-main event, but I wouldn't even mind if they put that as the main event, to be honest with you. I wouldn't mind that at all, and it will be great, and the fans will get another Brazilian fighting on the card, somebody who is obviously loved by the Brazilians, and a guy who's just loved in general by everybody, and Alex Pereira, and it makes a lot of sense. And Gane can go in there, you know, maybe you can give him a little bit of a pay bonus for taking this fight on short notice, and it saves UFC 301. So I think that they should do that, but let me know what you guys think. What is next for Alex Pereira? Does he actually miss the fight card at UFC 301, or the UFC do something in order to save that fight card? But let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with another video. Peace out.